introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intention is teaching and talk is to broaden their vision. The things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers. 50 to 80% that ain't all that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his tip methodology. Really, dream, be persistent, face fears, seek change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin, yeah. He says recognize trauma, push past the pain. If you got a problem, go look at his frame. Work your perspective and look at it change. Find a goal, set it in critical thing. Manage time, self-awareness. These are the few of the things he's trying to get you to do every day. Do every day. Led 5 schools to increase test scores with his teacher principal collaboration. Things he give to you will have you take you drive to the next level. But first, you need to get some fuel at gas station. Supporting education leaders, creating a culture for kids that'll last for ages. Lack of access to quality professional development, that's outrageous. Got his doctorate in education, leadership, research, make changes. Need to put the kids first and raise them. Need to teach them they worth, stop playing. Later on, they gon' run this nation. Dr. Joe with his dissertation taught to those who would fix, make changes. I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intentions. The teaching and talk is to broaden their vision. The things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers. 50 to 80% they ain't know that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his dip methodology. Really, dream, be persistent, face fears, seek change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin.
Great day, leaders. Great day. Welcome to the Speaking Life in You Leadership Live Stream. I am your host, Dr. Joe Griffin, where we talk leadership dynamics, personal and professional growth, educational trends, and we provide solutions to help you with school improvement to create a culture of collaboration. Let's go! It is indeed another blessed day, you all. Another opportunity to get it right, another opportunity to do again. And I'm so happy and so blessed to be here. And I'm more than happy that you have decided to join us today. You could be anywhere. But you have chosen to join the live stream today. And we got a good one today, you all. We got a good one today. I definitely want to start out, as always, I want to get a roll call for those that are in the room. Definitely share out where you're streaming in from. If you're don't do it now, definitely do it in a little bit. I see we got a couple in already, so we definitely appreciate you coming to join the live stream. And the topic today, careers, dual enrollment, and entrepreneurship, you all. So it's going to definitely be a great professional development. And as always, I like to connect what we do as educators and as people to real life. And today is not different. First, I would definitely want to encourage you to like, comment, subscribe, share out. The value that we're giving today it's for everyone, you all. It's not just for educators, it's for everyone, because we all have unique choices that we have to make in this life. And I want to start with a conversation today, and it goes right along with what we'll be talking about, but exercising and not shying away from your unique DNA talents. I'm going to say that again, you all. I'm going to say it as two independent clauses this time. Exercising your unique DNA talents. Not shying away from your unique DNA talents. Exercising and not shying away from your unique DNA talents. And I speak from a place of experience here, because for so long, And I'm going to tell you more about it. But for so long, we have shied away from those things that we're good at. But the time is now. The time is now that we stop doing that, you all. The time is now that we stop shying away from our talents and let that light shine, as they say. First off, self-awareness is key. Self-awareness opens up doors and possibilities and allow you to explore different strengths and struggles within yourself, which in turn allows you to work better with and through other people. So when you're exercising your talents and becoming more engulfed in everything that you bring to the table, you have to then still realize that it's our differences that give us problems, that allow us to have issues on the job, in the workplace, at home, with our families even. It's our differences. So if we're able to go deep into our own strengths, that also gives us more ability to understand other people's strengths. Individuality and diversity go hand in hand. As you go further and further into yourself, you realize that other people have more and more about them as well and allow them to dig deeper into their strengths. But it's our struggles that cause the confusion. And we learn how to balance our strengths and struggles, we're able to move to next and greater levels. On that note, strength and struggles define you. Strength and struggles define us. Our strengths and struggles define us. So what I mean by that is our struggles, just like our strengths, they are opportunities for growth. So it's not shying away from struggles. It's about understanding what they are, recognizing them, and then still be able to push those limitations while still engulfing yourself in your strengths. Strengths and struggles, again, they define you. Strengths, also known as talents, all right? And exploring those talents allows you to be able to get to your purpose. I'm going to say that again. Exploring your talents allows you to get to your purpose. And I'm going to break it down here, you all, a couple of quick scenarios. And we happen to be talking about entrepreneurship today. And I sold pecan pies in the 6th and 7th grade, had an ad in the paper and all of that. And I also worked at the movies from about the age of 13, the movie theater from about 13 to 16. But somewhere along the line, after going to college and coming out into the workforce, I told myself that I wasn't an entrepreneur. I wasn't a salesperson. I'm not promoting and things of that nature. But keep in mind, these are the things that I had done before and after. I was a teacher, a principal. I coached also. So you're always selling because you're selling education. Any career that you do, you're in the process of selling because you're trying to get it over to the people that your audience. All right. So that's real important. So again, the time is now. Understand that self-awareness is key. Our strengths and struggles define us, and we have to explore our talents in order to get to our purpose. That's what I'm talking about when I say exercising and not shying away from your unique DNA talents, because we all have unique things that we bring to the table. That also allows you to be confident and secure in bringing other people to the table as well. And now you can have connection, empowerment, and true collaboration, you all. Woo-wee! I'm feeling good today, you all. I'm getting ready to bring my guests out here in a moment. I've got a good brother today, and I'm going to read his biography. Dr. Marvin A. Lowe. He's a 28-year veteran in education. He was born in Daytona Beach, Florida, but now resides in Pike Road, Alabama. Dr. Lowe has been married to his wife, Jawanda, for 21 years. Their marriage has been blessed with 2 boys, Marvin Jaden Lowe and Jace Alexander Lowe. My son's name is Jaden as well. Dr. Lowe earned his Bachelor of Science, Elementary Education in December of 1997, Master's in Educational School Counseling in May of 99, and Educational Specialist with his thesis in administration in July 2004, all from Alabama State University. In May of 2018, Dr. Lowe defended his dissertation and earned his doctorate degree in educational leadership from Nova Southeastern University. Dr. Lowe has served in various educational capacities over the past 28 years. For 10 consecutive years, he worked diligently in Montgomery Public Schools. In those 10 years, 4 were spent teaching elementary students at Floyd Elementary and at Southline Elementary. 5 years were spent as a high school guidance counselor at Jefferson Davis High School, and 1 year as an assistant principal. For the next 5 years, he served the Bullitt County community as principal of Bullitt County High School. And for the next 6 years as principal of Union Springs Elementary School. Starting in July of 2018, and for 5 consecutive years, Dr. Lowe served the students and community of Bullitt County as the Director of Career and Technical Education. Under the leadership of a new superintendent, Dr. Lowe was transferred as the Director of Student Services and District Athletic Director for 1 year. Currently, he has returned to his previous position as Director of Career and Technical Education, also known as CTE, for Bullitt County Schools. Dr. Lowe is excited about the many opportunities created for partnerships that are available to his students, allowing them to reach their full potential as high school students, and he and many other stakeholders help prepare students for the world of work or secondary education post-high school. I bring to the stage Dr. Marvin Lowe. Great day, brother, Dr. Lowe. How are you doing?
Awesome, my friend. Awesome. Thank you so very much for the reading the bio, and thank you for the invite to go live this evening. So thank you.
Oh, man, I thank you for accepting it. I thank you for bringing your diverse experiences, your talent to the table, and allowing our viewers to soak it in. And I definitely also want them to participate. So I want to start off and get them going in. I want to ask you, what are some things that you've seen in your community at schools as far as it relates to careers and students? If you've seen some things, put those things in the chats as Dr. Lowe and I get ready to have a conversation. Definitely. Dr. Lowe, if you would just begin to tell us a little bit about your journey, and then we'll go from there.
Well, thank you so very much. I've had a dynamic journey in education, and I thank you graciously for reading the bio. But even before it started, those years at Alabama State, I had a wonderful time as a student in Montgomery Public Schools for a while, and also at St. Jude High School, where I graduated class valedictorian in 1993. So education has been one of those things that has fascinated me, that I found to be rewarding and not as challenging as people wish to think. There's nothing more yearning and desirable to share content with a person and to tell them how to give it back to you and watch that foster and grow. And I've had to come to love that. But the journey has been wonderful. The Lord has blessed me with so many opportunities to have my hands in so many different educational fields, and to now return and give that back to my students and community. That's the blessing part about it, that I'm so excited and grateful at this moment. And it's just an anointing to just be doing this type of work.
Definitely. I couldn't agree with you more. And it's very rewarding as well. And talked a little bit in the beginning about exploring your talents and that kind of thing. I know we're going to go kind of more in depth about that today, because we're talking about a really, really critical topic: dual enrollment, careers, career options, pathways for students. And this is the thing also, and we don't like to talk about it, but also pathways for adults, because a lot of times you have career changes, career enhancements, additional certifications, and things of that nature that add to what you're able to do. So I definitely want to put that spin on it as well. But we're definitely talking about creating pathways beyond high school for students also. And that's whether it's dual enrollment, entrepreneurship, college, 2-year or 4-year. So with that being said, what do you feel like, Dr. Lowe, are some of the key benefits of dual enrollment for students, and how can schools ensure access to these programs?
Yes, sir. Thank you for allowing me to speak on that topic. There's so many benefits to students getting involved with dual enrollment, especially if they already know their post high school track. Even if they were not as familiar with their post secondary track, get involved. Most universities, 2 and 4 year, require 2.0, some 2.5, depending upon that track that the student is going to enter. But it's difficult to tell a child or allow a child to tell us in return what they're not good at doing or what they're not interested in doing until they walk that path. And I would much rather give them that opportunity to walk that path to get a feel of success and possibly failure, but then bring them on back forward to success than to not do it at all. There's just so many job opportunities that are there that are reaching our children now younger than ever, and we need to take advantage of these opportunities now. The workforce now sees that. The workforce understands that, hey, we're going to have a gap real soon with no employees to fill some of these vacancies, and they are ready to get started training the next generation of workers, and it's going to start in high school with your dual enrollment opportunities.
Definitely. Dual enrollment. I can't say enough about dual enrollment. I feel like dual enrollment helped change not only the trajectory of students while I was a principal, but it also helped change my trajectory some as well. And I'll tell you how, Dr. Lowe. I was already teaching, but as the principal, I was able to teach dual enrollment to my students. And I got hired through the local college or what have you, and then we partnered with the school because you can't do the dual entities. You can't work two jobs. So I was working a separate job, but we partnered with my school. So that gave me an immediate influence and impact, not only with the students, but also the teachers, because they would have to come. They didn't have to come, but they would come after school or what have you and see me working with the students in the library, seeing me trying some of those different instructional strategies that I was coaching through professional development and what have you. So I definitely see the need, and I know how dual enrollment affects communities and people because it gave students different opportunities that they weren't accustomed to having. So how do you, as director, how do you work with colleges and families to help students navigate that process, the dual enrollment process, taking classes, et cetera, et cetera?
Yes, sir. It's a continual basis. It never stops. And I love it. Where we are in Union Springs, which is in Bullitt County, we are very unique because we are 45 minutes away from major cities, Auburn, Montgomery, Troy, where we have dual enrollment agreements with Auburn University, Troy University, Wallace Community College, Trenholm State Community College. So we're connected even with Alabama State University, the AUM. So we've got some great connections, but now it's taking those connections. Let's bring them now to our children. Let's share with our children these opportunities. Being in those rural areas, we may not always have the electives to offer children according to their interests. Children are able to take various interest assessments either through Cooler or the ASVAB or just any of those interest inventories to sort of give us an idea of what they would like to do. And sometimes we can't meet those areas until we look at our dual enrollment opportunities. And that's where we're able to really open the door and connect our children to what they want to do in life. And again, it's a continual process starting from my desk, looking at my career counselor, looking at the career coach, and let's understand where we are. Let's look at the opportunities that are there for our children. If we are going to have them dual enrolled online and or face-to-face, let's find out their interests and let's get them matched up. We're not allowing children to tell us, well, I'm not going to be good at that. That's I hear it, but we're going to walk there with you. And for the last number of years that we've been doing dual enrollment, and it actually started when I was principal at the high school, when we were working with University of Alabama, the early college, we have had a lot of success. Very few students have not been successful with dual enrollment. We pledge our support. We know that some of the things that as a college student, we cannot just call the college and get information on. So we rely on the instructor to tell us, hey, your child is struggling, to reach out to them. And once we get that word, we're going to get on the child and say, hey, how can we help you be a little bit more successful? Where do you need some additional support so that you can master these particular courses? And it's been amazing. We've had a lot of students earn short certificates and graduate from the 2-year community colleges before they graduate high school. That is a goal and a dream that we have met in our Bullitt County, and it's so amazing. And it's just great to for those children to see that success. Many of their parents went to some of the community colleges that they're attending, and for the parents to see that their child are now taking these courses as early as a high school student, it's such a reward for our students and community, and to prove to other educational settings and institutions that it doesn't matter where you come from, you can be a success anywhere. And for those that have written off our smaller communities in the Black Belt, no, pull out that eraser, because we are making some headway.
Definitely. I like how you talked about not allowing the students to just pass off things, because we don't know. If you haven't tried, you don't know if you're interested in those things or not. And I equate a lot of stuff to real life, and you and I are kind of connected on social media or what have you.
Right.
But I just started doing social media 8 years ago, Dr. Lowe. You got people that have accounts 20 years and more, because I said I wasn't going to do that. I didn't want to be on social media or what have you. But if I had learned to connect my interests, because I like reading, I like writing, I like being able to communicate with people, and I connected those interests with the idea of social media instead of just passing it off as something I didn't want to be involved in, I probably in 20 years also as well. But because I did, I'm a late bloomer with it. So I want to get some crowd input again right here. You all, how have you seen the dual enrollment process impact students in your school or community? How have you seen the dual enrollment process impact your school or community? Hope to get a little input, but if not, we're still going to provide the value, and we're going to keep pushing with our conversation.
Now, Dr. Griffin, just to expound, I apologize for cutting y'all, just to expound a little bit more about not accepting children to give me that I don't want to take these courses. I have to get personal with my children, and I call them my children. I have to share with children my walk through St. Jude High School, how we didn't have a lot of electives then, and I was taking Spanish and accounting, and I really did not want to, but I had to tell myself then, I will one day use these skills. Maybe not 10 years, 20 years, but at one point I will use those skills. And those same accounting principle skills that I learned in Ms. Shipman's class, I use even today with just managing my checkbook. Some of those simple lessons I learned in Spanish, it helps me now when I go to a Mexican restaurant. So, and again, just getting personal with my children, telling them some of my successes and failures will give them an ease and help them walk through that journey, hopefully much easier than I did.
Definitely. That's they need those real world examples. I think it hits different, as they say. So that's crucial. And one thing we have to be aware of also is that not every student's path includes a 4-year university, and that's okay too, which is quite different from when I was in school. You know, it was you need to get that 4-year degree. It wasn't so much a focus on the trades or what have you. And I know what I know now. I probably would have coupled some of that as well. I definitely would have taken that mechanics class in high school instead of just playing basketball. I know that for a fact. And with that being said, though, how can leaders guide students to making those correct choices between 2-year and 4-year schools?
Now, Dr. Griffin, this may upset some people, but it needs to be said. You got to get to know your students. You have got to get to know your children. You've got to come from around that desk and have real conversations with them. You're going to have to eat lunch with them. You're going to have to pull them out of class and just have conversations and walk down the hall. You're going to have to go to those basketball games, those football games, some of those other meetings, and just have conversations, possibly show up to church, possibly go to some homes, but you got to know your community and your children. Once you know your students and community and those children, they'll open up to you. They'll start sharing stories with you, and you can understand some of their paths. You can understand why they're choosing some of these areas, and you can see the passion for that. They may have the grades to look like a four-year college student, but their heart and their family and their desire may push them into another career path that may say 2-year college, may say entrepreneurial, those type of things. And we have to know that, and we have to be able to see that. I've got a young man right now. He has a 3.9 grade point average, smart as whip. He gives me every indication of that 4-year college student. However, he's hands-on technology. He's hands-on machinery. He wants every course that we can provide him on learning how to use his hands with heavy machinery. That's what he wants. Well, I know that because we've had several conversations between my career coach and career counselor. They're well involved. We're able to have these collaborative meetings about our children. We just can't sit back and allow them to say, well, I think I might do this. No, we need to help you. We need to know. And if this is the passion of your home and we can support that, just imagine how that's going to make the child feel, knowing that I'm supported at school and at home. So to close the subject, you have to know your children. Once you know your children and you have these conversations, you can help lead them. And sometimes it's both directions. There's nothing wrong with a plan A and a plan B. And I often tell my children, you got to have a plan B, C, and D. You just never know what life would throw at you and what hurdles you may jump through to cause you to make some of these changes. And that is okay. That's just life. The greater that you can accept change, the greater you will be as you change. Because once you enter that profession, you don't want to do that job, that entry-level job, your entire career. So be willing to change so that you can receive those promotions and move up and possibly go to a different track altogether.
Definitely powerful right there. Powerful right there. Give yourself options. Dig into those talents. Explore your gifts. You know, kind of like when you get a Christmas gift and it's just a scenario and there's writing on it, but you don't take the time to explore it. You simply go to the gift, rip it out, and get the package. But had you explored the gift, you would have realized that on the box there was a note that said over there, that's a bigger gift. That's something more for you over there. But because we didn't take the time to explore it, we didn't get a chance to get to it. And with that, changing the note to, well, shifting the note to a little bit deeper with community colleges, because I'm a community college product. I'm just elated to have you on, Dr. Lowe, and talk about the things that we're talking about, because I'm a community college product as well. And when you're at the community college, you don't know how important it is and how much love you're getting and how much support you're getting, how much they're actually feeding into you. And I went to the Kahoma Community College, which is one of the 10 HBCU 2-year institutions in the nation. So I definitely want to shout them out for doing such a wonderful job with me. But while you're in those particular places, you don't always realize how much love you're being shown. So what role would you say that community colleges play in bridging that gap between high school and career success?
That is a big key. And if I have to call it a keystone, I would consider those community colleges a keystone with those connecting the students to the next level. We're so grateful to have in Bullock County connections with 2 community colleges, H Council Trent Home, another H Council State Community College, another HBCU here in Montgomery, and also Wallace Community College. They have several campuses throughout the state of Alabama, but we're very connected with the Sparks campus in Eufaula and the main campus in Midland City, just outside of Dothan. But being able to be connected to those institutions is an amazing feeling. Your community colleges are not always viewed upon in the right light, and I've been waiting to talk about this subject for a mighty long time. Just very, as well as you mentioned, as we were in high school ourselves, all you heard was you got to go to college. You got to go to college. When my mom and dad were in college at Bethune-Cookman in Daytona, that's all they heard. You got to go to college. You got to go to college. And if you did go to college and you went to a two-year community college, you were not viewed upon the same respect as those who went to a four-year school. And now society is now saying, well, hey, those that go to the community college, they're coming out making more than those at their four-year institution. So the paradigm is now shifting to where the community colleges are getting the due diligence, the due respect that they should, because the same courses, your English, math, science, and history that you would take in your four-year schools, you can take those at your community college and come out with a skill. And that's the blessing part about it, that children, young adults need to see now that it's not wasting your time at your four-year institutions. But if you know you have a time frame that you want to get onto your career, your community college will get you there much faster than your four-year institution. And that's not taken away from those who choose a four-year institution. This is just supporting everybody and their needs and their wants and respecting those needs and wants. I chose a four-year institution. My son, who is a junior in high school, my wife and I both are encouraging him. No, you may want to start at the two-year. He's already dual enrolled at H Council Trentham, so matriculate right into that as a full-time student. And then once you finish with whatever you're studying, you may now enroll at Alabama State, AUM, Auburn, and you won't have 4 years. You may have 2, 3, or maybe a year and a half. But just those are some of the things to think about. But again, it's allowing those students and families to have those type of choices, but understand and realize that career path that you really may want, your two-year community college can get you there a little bit faster than your four-year universities. But again, it's just understanding the students and their families and knowing what they want to do and helping them get there. But those community colleges are keystones to what we're doing with dual enrollment. Here in Alabama, we have the state has the workforce grant. And I love it because that workforce grant will allow our students to take these courses for free. And that's at your community colleges. That they have the appropriate grade point average, and they now have brought in core classes, because once it was just only your CTE courses, but now they're bringing in those core classes, your English, your math, your science, which is excellent. And so your four-year institutions are struggling to keep up. They can't offer it for free, but they've knocked down the tuition costs tremendously. AUM has reduced theirs, so has Troy. But still, it's just a great opportunity to share these with the families so that they can make those decisions, because we do get some children who know, hey, I just want to go to the University of Alabama. They've been knowing that since birth. Well, they are already in the early college program, and we're going to support them with that. But again, it's just a wonderful opportunity to have our community colleges be those keystone factors for us.
Definitely. And that's a perfect segue as we move into our next part of the conversation, because for some students, work-based learning is the perfect pathway, as you just mentioned. Job shadowing, as well as apprenticeships, they offer experience that they really couldn't get otherwise. We talk a lot of times about on-the-job training. You can't magnify it enough because it's very important. The truth is, you don't really learn a lot of your career stuff in your actual coursework. You don't learn it until you actually get on the job. And that's one of the things I was trying to explain to someone the other day. You don't really get the training until you get the job anyway. You go and get that coursework, you get your certificates, you get the information that you need, and then you're going to go to work. So what are some of the most effective ways that you feel like schools can partner with local businesses to provide job shadowing as well as apprenticeships?
Well, that's a great question to bring. We're going to start with the second part of that question with apprenticeship. We are struggling with that in my community in Bullitt County. The state of Alabama does have methods and ways where businesses can offer apprenticeships. We're just struggling in Bullock County to push that, but we're not giving up on it. But we're slow to get there. Now with our job shadowing program, we have a robust work-based learning program. And it's great because we invite our businesses to come in and share with us their needs, their wants, out, and especially out of the potential employers, so that we'll know how to train those students and have those conversations, and to ensure that they have those employability skills before they make it to that job site. The information that I pick up from our work council meetings that we have here in Montgomery that talk about the needs for our region and workforce needs for the region, I always bring those notes back to our students and teachers at the Career Tech Center, because they need to hear that. And a few years back at a regional meeting, an employer was sharing that their biggest problem with the millennials and workers now, they first can't stay off the cell phone. They're having difficulties working in groups. With those socialization skills, they cannot resolve problems within a group. And then most importantly, they don't want to come to work at all. If they get a few days built up for either 6 days of vacation, they're taking them left and right. And one employer said they don't like letting them go to lunch, but they have to, because sometimes they don't come back, which puts a strain on other employers. So these are things that we share with our children so that they could hear these problems before they get out there. And I always let the staff know that old school students' first learner will be their parents. Well, now that we're in local parentis, they have to look at us. So some of these things we need to model. Well, if I'm walking in the hallway all day long on my cell phone and not paying them any attention, they're going to see that and they're going to pick that up. Well, no, I let them know that you're most important to me. My cell phone is in my pocket. They're going to see me get to work on time. They're going to see me grind out problems. They're going to see me talk about having these collaborative meetings with personnel. They're going to see me talk about how I had an idea, but it wasn't as effective as another co-worker's idea, but we're going to go with their idea, how we were able to work through those issues and problems. So we're modeling a lot of this for our children so that they could receive it and take it out there to the world of work. So job shadowing is very important to us. A small community, we don't have the job pool that we would like, so we have to take the few positions that we have very serious and be grateful for the businesses who are sharing with us, so that when our children can get out there, we know that they're just going to be either just temporary jobs or seasonal jobs, but we're grateful for those opportunities because it's just going to take a little effort to water that seed, to watch it grow.
Definitely. And I, being from a small rural area, that's where I know exactly what you're talking about. So I applaud your efforts in making sure that your students have accessibility to those that are available, and for reaching out to those companies that are willing to work with you and to give you that opportunity for those students, because that's what it's all about. Being able to put them in situations where they can become empowered, be able to see something different, have that exposure so that they can be who they want to be and who they need to be for themselves and for their community. And with that, crowd, I want to get you involved. Think about your community. What local businesses or industries partner or could partner with your school to offer some real world experiences? And if you have that going on, we definitely want to hear from that as well. Also, where you're streaming in from, But think about that. What local businesses or industries could partner with your school to offer some real world experiences where they can get some job shadowing, where they can get some apprenticeships going? And if you're already experiencing that and seeing that, definitely share with the world. That's what it comes down to, you all. We got to share with the world. We got to add value to one another. That's how we empower each other. And that's how we stay in the game. That's how we keep going and stay focused. With that, we're going to move a little bit to entrepreneurship, Dr. Lowe. And I talked a little bit about it in the beginning. I for so long dodged entrepreneurship, but it just kept coming back to me. I sold blow pops in high school, and the principal had to shut me down in the 11th grade. And Mr. King, he shut me down. And I don't think I sold anything else. Definitely at the school. So entrepreneurship, it's exciting. It's something that's a lot of times overlooked as a career path, because now, especially after the pandemic, it's a real thing. It's a real opportunity for people to dig into their bag, so to speak, and be entrepreneurial, provide goods, provide services, empower people through that mode. So we're going to explore how students can develop those skills and kind of start their own ventures. What role, Dr. Lowe, do you feel that entrepreneurship education plays in career readiness, and how can leaders integrate it into what they do, into their current curriculum?
Entrepreneurship is in every career tech program that we have. I cannot think of one that would not teach those skills. And I'm really glad that you asked that question. I just want to kind of share a quick story about one of my former students, Roy Chester Harris. And you made me think about him when you were selling your pies back in the day. My second year at Springfield Bullitt County High School, we were able to take about 30 students to Washington, D.C. on a trip. And it was great because the communities came and helped us out. They actually sponsored the entire trip for us. They just want us to take ownership and do some fundraisers. And so Roy Chester was on that trip. We had a lot of juniors and seniors. But one of the nights in the hotel in Virginia, the student said, "Hey, Mr. Lowe, can we order some pizza and just have something for us in the rooms?" I said, "Sure, go ahead and do that," because we had an entire hall. Well, an hour later, when the pizzas got together, Roy Chester had reorganized his room and almost made a mini store, not to sell the items, but to organize it and equally distribute it as the students came in to get some pizza and some drinks. And I thought, now, my gosh, that's awesome. Because I saw that skill resonate itself about 3 months ago when he purchased a building in an area of Bullitt County that's a desert that doesn't really have a lot of stores where families can go buy some quick milk or bread. And he saw that need. And then I was so glad that he demonstrated that skill all the way back in 2008, although it manifests now, but no telling what he has been working on between then and now to reach that goal. But entrepreneurship can manifest in any one of the areas of career tech. It's just allowing the children to understand that they can. Now with the age of technology and with so many social media outlets, all that printing of flyers to get your product out is so much cheaper now, and is almost free in some respect. Now it's just selling, like you said earlier, selling your dreams, selling your product. How would you put this product out there where somebody would want to buy it? A young man that just graduated last year is a twin, and he was his twin was dual enrolled, but he just took dual enrolled welding courses with us with Trent, and he wants to open his own line of clothing. And I said, "Well, I'm excited for it. I'm just sharing tips and tricks with him." He took a couple of business classes in a business management program, and I said, "Hey, all I need is a 2X when you get on your feet." But empowering the children, letting them know that yes, it's going to be a challenge, but don't give in, don't give up. If we continuously to speak to children in a manner in which we know that they can receive it and will be successful, then they will be successful. However, if we lead children to know that every time you hit a roadblock, you have to stop, that's not productive. That's counterproductive. We're educating our children that in every aspect of life, you're going to have roadblocks. So if I stop at a roadblock, I will never meet my goal. But your roadblock, you're going to overcome it. Yes, you may have some state and federal paperwork you have to fill out. That's fine. I have some too when I come to my taxes. So let's get it done and let's move to the next level. And it's just it's just empowering our children, letting them know that they can. And if we don't do that, society would tell them no. Their friends are going to tell them no while they're doing it behind their backs, and that's not going to help anyone. But again, we can find entrepreneurship, and it can manifest in any one of the areas through ag science. A young man that took ag science, I think I was the principal of the high school again. He now has his own lawn service. And the instructor that taught him, Mr. Hewlett, is still in the building, and we regularly talk about that young man because then he really didn't say much about owning his own business, but we just never know what strategy or what lesson made him change his mind between now and then. And he has his own lawn service, and he will come out regularly and talk with us. But that's just a great thing to hear and see back from our children, how they now have taken these lessons and are thriving at life. So it's a great opportunity to be a part of that.
Awesome. Definitely Dip South comment. Totally agree. 100%. Definitely appreciate that comment out there in Atlanta, Georgia. You said a mouthful then, Dr. Lowe. You said a mouthful. You talked about a lot of good stuff as far as our kids having those opportunities, not quitting, not bagging down, but withstanding the pressure, exploring those opportunities, and putting themselves in a position where they can be successful. And as leaders, we know that we have to kind of guide that as well. So again, I applaud your efforts as the career technical educational director in Bullock County. Keep doing what you're doing. For all our viewers, what entrepreneurship programs or initiatives have you seen work well in schools? What entrepreneurship programs have you seen work well in schools? We definitely want to hear if you're seeing some different programs or what have you. I was speaking with a superintendent this past week, and they were talking about expanding to some type of engineering program or what have you. And I thought that was really excellent with a connection to the college or what have you also. So it's a lot going on with those particular career paths and the different ways to get to it. It's so many different ways to get to it now. That's really exciting about it. So we know there's no one size fits all approach because we've talked about quite a few of those different approaches. And I want to get some final thoughts, some clarity from you, Dr. Lowe, as we wrap up. What's one piece of advice that you give educators and leaders about guiding students toward their ideal career pathway?
Well, I'm going to do my best to sum it up, but the best way to look at it is help, and I guess I take a lot from when I worked as a counselor, but helping children and young adults see a better road for themselves, helping them see where they can reach those goals, dreams, and aspirations. And it may not be on street A, may not be on street B, but it's going to be on a street that you claim, but have those plans ready to execute. And I just want to talk about this very quickly to just put this on the table for all of our listeners. Here in Alabama, the community college system has a program called Skills for Success. And with the Skills for Success program, the students can learn how to operate heavy machinery such as a skid steer, bulldozer, excavator, even all the way down to a mental health worker. Well, when we first rolled this out to our students, we recruited 4 young men to join. And once they got their passed the course and did the certification, we now have a waiting list of students who are coming to us saying that they want to learn how to operate heavy machinery. They want to learn this, they want to learn that. And it just goes back to talking with your students, knowing what your students want, getting involved with their families. A lot of their family members know how to operate this heavy machinery and or own it. And when the children come to us telling us they want to learn, we're going to work with them on that. I was able to, through the same program this past summer, earn my Class B certification to drive school buses. Well, you have to be 21 to do that. So, but to get your Class A to drive 18-wheelers, you just have to be 18. Well, we have some students in high school that's still 18 that will be turning 18 shortly. So in January, I promise those students I will get right there and learn right with you about Class A certification to help them, because if that's a goal of theirs to drive 18-wheelers, let me help you get there. But to sum it up, knowing your students and community, helping them understand that it's okay to have a plan A, B, C, and D. That's okay. That's life. Just because you hit a stump or a roadblock, you can overcome it because you're not the only child and person that's overcoming it. How well and how you really want to overcome it will determine the effort you put forth to get over it and how much energy, but knowing that there is success on the other side and to keep preaching that to the children and not give up on our children. Because that one child that you give on will knock at your door when you dial 911 and you're in a medical situation. That one person in front of you will be that one that you gave up on. And how would you like to look at that person knowing that you gave up on them and they're about to save your life?
Definitely. I like you emphasizing the importance of those relationships and how it aids in making informed decisions for students. That's one of the key ingredients to making informed decisions. You've got to have that connection. That's important. And you also mentioned a couple of times roadblocks can't stop you. That's one of the key principles in the DIP approach for student and adult success. And roadblocks can't stop you. That's actually the first principle under pushing past pain. And that's so crucial because so many times we don't realize that there are options. We get in a rut, things happen to us, we just fall into a space or a place without trying to get ourselves out of it. But when you're self-aware to the different concepts that allow you to push past that pain, that roadblocks can't stop you, that failure only sharpens you, that defeat does not mean defeated, and things of that nature, you're able to take yourself to next and greater levels. So I definitely, again, appreciate you sharing everything with us today, Dr. Lowe. Do you have any final words for our guests? And I definitely want to allow you the opportunity to share out your information so that in case anyone wants to contact you and get some more valuable info from you, with some convo from you, we definitely want to give you that chance.
Well, again, thank you for this opportunity to share. I have enjoyed my time in career tech. I'm passionate about that. The children that we're serving now are going to impact us at some point in our lives. And I love story time. My mom was ill about a year ago. And one of the medics that came to the house, of course, was friendly to my mom. And he kept staring at me, but I was just nervous as a wreck. I couldn't really get things together. So he said, you're Mr. Lowe. I said, yeah. He said, you don't remember me? And when I laid my eyes on him, I paid attention and say, yes, you're Brian. You was with me in the 8th grade. He said, yes, sir. And I felt better because when Brian was with me in the 8th grade, I was a good young man. I got to know him because I watched him play basketball, and we just had several conversations. But it made me feel better because he cared for my mother that evening. And you reap what you sow. As you treat children with compassion and love and getting involved in their lives, you never know when you will have that child standing back before you again in a different capacity. Then I was over Brian as an educational leader and cared for him and showed him love. Almost 20 years later, he remembered that and cared for my mom. You talk about receiving that. And that's one of the final thoughts I want to share with all of our viewers, especially those educators. Treat your children, and I call them your children and my children, treat them as if they're coming home with you. You just never know what's going to happen in the future when you'll be faced to see them again. So having said that, oh gosh, how do you want me to leave my contact information, Dr. Griffin?
However they can contact you.
Well, I'm just going to put my cell number out there, 334-312-6883. That's my work cell phone. It's again 334-312-6883. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Marvin Lowe. Take a look at the good things that we're doing down in Bullitt County with our students. We're going to be going out on Tuesday to H Council Trina with some more students on the skid steer. So we're enjoying these opportunities, and thank you all so very much for tuning in.
Definitely. And I just want to kind of get ready to close out here as well. Mention our final comment. This should be across the board. Vocational education should be implemented back in every state. Definitely agree. Dip South, we appreciate you. And she said beautifully said as well. So we definitely appreciate all of that. I want to also give the viewers an opportunity to check me out. You all, you have not ordered the latest book, please definitely do so. Empowering Educational Communities, a guide for teacher principal collaboration. It's hot. It's hot. I'm telling you, it comes with the professional development, and it's a guidebook that's gonna be around for a very, very long time. So definitely want to encourage you all to get that as well. Do remember that I know that you're preparing for a Black History Month. I am your speaker. Joe Griffin is your answer for your Black History speaker. Definitely give me an opportunity to come in as well. Want to further mention the Global DNA Behavior Assessment, you all. This is crucial as well. This is a tool that's going to help leaders as well as students, because we also provide it to students when the district wants that. Business leaders, any type of leaders who are trying to get better, any type of person who's trying to get better. It's a self-awareness tool that's going to provide you with your strengths and struggles. And then there's also a team component that allows you to celebrate collaboration. I've been able to put it in a few places now, and we continue to expand with it as well. And the thing about that, talent multiplies experience. Talent multiplies experience. You know, you can have all the talent in the world. You can have all the experience in the world, but when put together, talent and experience provide something very, very special. Additionally, I want to put the other books as well, you all. Different approach for student and adult success, as well as different approach for educators. And I can be contacted at these, my email as well as my phone number. Email as well as phone number. Looking to work with you all. Otherwise, continue to create, continue to motivate, be inspired. Your passion is not random. Dr. Joe signing off for you all, always speaking and writing life into you.